need to know what you
59. It's bingo time. Meccabingo.com. Proud sponsors of Loose Women. On your Thursday, Loose Women live.
Let's see, we missed you! Have a semantic soccer! Have who?
And Gloria Honeyford.
Have Joy Hartford!
Honeyford. 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 Honeyford.
Was having me a bad Rampart.
Christine Lampard.
Have Mr. Manuel! Have semantic soccer! Have Gabriel!
Christine Lampard.
Have Mr. Manuel semantic soccer! We missed you! But hello, David! And Joyce the Hartford!
Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to your Thursday Loose Women Live. Coming up, as Hollywood actress Charlize Theron says she's been having the best sex of her life at 49 and not missed being in a relationship, we are asking, does society still judge single women? Also, our guest today is Jo Woods. She will be revealing how her relationship Rolling Stone Ronnie Wood influenced her first novel and why her children are too scared to read it. And crafted in secret, thousands of sequins hand-sewn on this huge veil revealed to millions. This work of art, remembered forever. It's the most important wedding dress in the world. As the new Princess Diana documentary looks at the secrets behind her iconic wedding dress, we'll be taking a trip down memory lane and revealing some of our very own bridal secrets. First, so we are starting with the story dominating the headlines this morning, and that is Rachel Reeves. She was seen crying and wiping away tears during Prime Minister's questions yesterday. Now, we don't know exactly what is going on, but Sir Keir Starmer has since said it has got nothing to do with politics, but a personal matter instead. So, is it a good thing to see our politicians show more of the human side? What did you make of it yesterday?
Well, I was watching the news live, and I have to say I find it sad in some ways. I find it quite upsetting. I find it quite difficult to watch because I've never seen anybody cry like that in Parliament before. But I made just a note of different things. Upsetting. It's a human side when you're watching the human side of a politician, whom you expect to be a very tough woman delivering her budgets and everything. And the mere fact that we learned afterwards that it was a personal thing, nothing to do with politics, and we still haven't been told, and we don't necessarily need to be told, but Keir Starmer did say it's a personal thing and nothing to do with politics. We don't know what that is yet. And apparently, before the question time started, the Speaker of the House had a conversation with her that looked quite touchy, so she had that going on. And then, of course, you have to look at the fact that women, we have all worked for decades really to say, look, we can do this job. We can, if we want, if that's the way you're inclined. Some women don't want to do it, but a lot of women who wanted tough jobs have been fighting for it for decades, saying we can be a CEO, we can be top of the tree. So when you see somebody top of the tree, it sort of seems a bit odd there to see that person crumble. I mean, sad in some ways. Human, we're all human, but to see that person crumble into tears. And then you have to remember as well the pressure that she is under at the moment, all the U-turns, the now bad decisions that they're saying the government has made. So she's under enormous pressure. So some might argue, you can argue both sides of the coin really. Some might say there's only so much that any one individual can take, and she's had it in piles. And the other criticism in all the papers is the fact that the Prime Minister appeared to be quite callous in that he didn't stand up for her in any of his speeches. You know, it was, in fact, I did make a note of this. Like, for example, he said that she is a human shield for his incompetence.
Mhm.
So a lot of the newspapers implied, no, that's not my statement, that's the newspaper. So it's a very complex issue. I find it quite sad. And she is human like everybody else.
I mean, it was like a scene out of Gladiator, wasn't it? I just think everyone was kind of coming for her, and even Kemi that said that was just kind of looking at her like, look at her, look, she's a total mess. You know, she can't cope with this. And I just think she's under so much pressure. She's the first woman, like you said, to have this role in Parliament. So she's under all of that pressure. And it's probably a personal thing, nothing to do with politics at all. And you just wanted the Prime Minister to turn around and just like put his arm on her and go, are you okay? But there's just no room for it. Do you not think he saw it?
No, because if you think about it, the cameras were facing him and he was arguing with Kerry Badenoch, who's on the other side. So his focus is all that way. And we can see as the audience that she's just below him. He never literally dipped his head down because he's defending his whole team, I suppose. So I felt like he might have been unaware of it happening.
Only might.
I know, but
Because the focus was all on her. I mean, everybody was looking at her.
of course.
And
If
she
he
was
did
She's
it,
under very much scrutiny at the moment, and I think that moment for me, you know, obviously we have so many opinions on all of these decisions they're making and how are they going to pay for all of this, and I think that moment it kind of humanized her in a way that nothing has so far, and you realise actually she's got the weight of the world on her shoulders right
if
now.
he had clocked it, the cameras would have been all on him clocking her, and he was, I think, protecting her by not.
Do you feel like she let women down in that moment?
No, I don't think she let women down at all. I think she tried her best not to cry. And as an actor, I know when we are trying to not, when you try to cry as a role, the first thing you need to do is try not to cry. Because the more you try not to cry, the more you start crying. And we've all been there when you know, I don't want to cry, I don't want this person to see me cry. And then they just start spilling out your ears. Out your ears. And you're like,
Oh!
she didn't want to be crying there. She didn't want
Of course
to.
she didn't want
But it
to
makes you
cry.
wonder how much
And she doesn't want all the criticism.
But if it happens,
Of course she doesn't want it. But that's not the issue. The issue is that it's being piled on her.
it has been piled on her.
Yeah.
But in that moment, when you're crying about something personal, how much are you supposed to, in that role, just compartmentalize and not think about that thing that's just happened outside? We all work in showbiz. Once the cameras are on, we kind of compartmentalize, and you just got to focus on the job in hand.
The Prime Minister did say afterwards, apparently, I didn't appreciate what was happening because PMQs is pretty wild. It goes from question to question and literally up and down, looking at who's asking me the question, thinking about my responses and getting up and answering it. Basically, he's sort of saying he wasn't aware of what was happening. That's for him to know, and that's, you have to believe that. I think the difficulty is you go into politics knowing what it is. Certainly when you're in that gladiatorial bear pit that is Parliament and MP or Prime Minister questions particularly, it's a tough world. You have to be made of stern stuff. I couldn't do it. So I, put my hands up and appreciate anyone that can. But equally so, I think there's been so many decisions. There'll be a lot of people at home affected by those decisions,
Of course.
like the Winter Allowance, for instance, fuel allowance. I'm sure there are a lot of pensioners crying over that. So I think as a politician, you do have to.
Well, you saw the markets fluctuate as soon as it happened.
It did.